Warning 18 plus. Explicit language, sexual content, BDSM practices. Trigger warning, aggressive sexual contact. Chapter 9. Sho flopped down onto his bed, unconcerned that he was still wearing his sweaty running gear. Since Kei had gone away, he and Sho had been texting non-stop. Sho pulled out his phone. Sure enough, there was a message from Kei. How was your run? Did you work off all that pent-up frustration? Yes, Kei. Sho let out an exasperated sigh. He had been in a state of fevered arousal all week. Kei's constant reminders were not helping. In the past, Sho could go for weeks, even months without masturbating. But somehow, Kei forbidding Sho from touching himself made him want to do so even more. And Kei kept sending Sho vague but suggestive hints about what he had planned when he came back. It was maddening. Sho's phone vibrated in his hand. Good. Now, where were we? How about hair pulling? That was an easy one. Yes. Okay. Nipple clamps. Sho paused and thought for a minute, then replied. Maybe. And I've thought of another limit. Yes. Fisting. Sho finally wrote. Which kind? All kinds. Hard limit. Okay. Fisting is a hard limit. Another message. How about whips? Floggers. Paddles. Crops. Yes, yes, yes. And definitely yes. So my suspicions were correct. Sho smiled. So Kei knew how much that riding crop had occupied his mind. Noted. I have to go prepare for a meeting. But you've earned a reward for your obedience. You'll receive it shortly. Kei, what did that mean? Was Kei finally back? Sho wanted to ask, but he knew better. The first time he had asked, Kei had told him to be patient. The second time, Kei had threatened to punish him if he asked again. Sho wasn't sure whether or not he was joking. Sho put down his phone and walked into the bathroom. He stripped off his clothes and turned on the shower. Cold water only. As he washed the sweat from his skin, he wondered, did Kei expect him to crack? Should Sho want to disobey him to see what Kei would do? He was torn between his growing need and his strong compulsion to obey Kei. As Sho was drying himself off, there was a knock on the door. Sho's heart leapt. It had to be Kei's reward. He wrapped his towel around himself and hurried to the door. Hello, Shoyo. The well-dressed woman from the other week stood in his doorway. Hi. Sho's eyes were drawn to the package in the woman's hand. From Mr. Tsukihina. The woman handed him the box. Thanks. Did this woman know what was going on between Sho and Kei? Did she know what was in these packages? She constantly maintained a professional demeanor, so it was hard to tell. She and Kei had that in common. The woman nodded and turned to leave. Wait. Yes. As Kei back from his business trip. Sho didn't even know who this woman was in relation to Kei, but there was a chance that she knew. Not yet. The woman said, a hint of a smile in her eyes. Oh. Sho considered asking if she knew when Kei would be back, but thought better of it. Thanks. The woman gave Sho a cordial nod and walked off down the hallway. Sho went back into his apartment and sat down on his bed, the black box on his lap. He still felt slightly uncomfortable receiving expensive gifts. But if the last gift was any indication, this one would be as much for Kei's benefit as Sho's. Sho untied the ribbon and lifted the lid. The scent of leather rose from the box. He ripped back the tissue paper. Unsurprisingly, the box contained another set of lingerie. But sitting on top of it were two thick leather cuffs. Sho picked them up. They were black with red lining, and each cuff had a metal ring attached to it. They were the perfect size for Sho's wrists. Sho's phone buzzed. Did you receive your reward? Yes. The timing of the text suggested that Kei already knew the answer to his question. Had the woman informed Kei that she had made the delivery? Another message came through. Try them on. The cuffs too. Sho had forgotten all about the lingerie. He pulled the matching bra and panties out of the box. They were made of black lace, so delicate that Sho feared that they would tear at the slightest touch. Both the bra and panties had several thin straps attached at various points around the top and sides. Sho removed his towel and put the lingerie on. It wasn't easy with all the straps. He buckled the cuffs around his wrist snugly. Sho turned to the mirror. He was surprised by what he saw. His auburn hair was still damp from the shower, leaving his shoulders and chest bare. The straps on the bra criss-crossed across the tops of his chest. The Brazilian panties covered only the tops of his ass cheeks. Sho liked the way the lingerie looked on him. He liked the way it made him feel. Sexy. Powerfully so. Would Kay find him irresistible in it? There was something exciting about the idea that he could drive Kay wild in his own way. Another text arrived. Send me a picture. Sho smiled. He snapped a photo in the mirror with his phone and sent it to Kay. He waited. A minute passed, then 2, then 5. His impatience got the best of him. Did you get it? Yes. You look ravishing. I'm going to enjoy making you come apart. Kay. Sho sprawled out on his bed. What naughty things did Kay have planned for him? If he closed his eyes, he could almost feel Kay's fingertips running along him. He could almost smell his cologne and taste his soft lips. No, the last thing Sho needed was another cold shower. He glanced at his phone. Nothing more from Kay. Sho wasn't surprised. That, Kay, at the end of Kay's texts always meant one thing: this conversation is over. The message came the following Sunday morning. Sho had slept in after a late night shift at the lounge. He rolled over in a daze and picked his phone up from the nightstand. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll pick you up. Where my gifts? And only my gifts. Sho's heart jumped. Finally, his stomach dropped as he read it again. Only his gifts. Did Kay expect Sho to leave the house in nothing but lingerie? And that lingerie, it barely counted as underwear. Another text followed a minute later. You may wear a coat. And shoes. But nothing else. Sho rolled onto his back, a smile on his face. Finally, his torment would end. Kay's mind games were far more potent than any whip. At least, that was what Sho thought. Chapter 10. Sho left his apartment at 7:55 p.m. the next day, keenly aware of how naked he was under his long coat. The leather cuffs peeked out from his sleeves. The day had passed with excruciating slowness. He'd barely been able to concentrate in class. He stepped out onto the sidewalk. A large black Mercedes-Benz was parked out in front of his apartment building. Standing next to it was the sharply dressed dark-haired woman who had delivered Kay's gifts. So he was Kay's driver. Something told Sho that hand-delivering gifts to his boss's lover in a dodgy part of town wasn't part of the job description. Perhaps Kay's expectation that everyone cater to his whims went beyond his sex life. The driver opened the back door. Hello, Shoyo. Kay sat in the back seat, his legs crossed in front of him. Hi. Sho hopped into the back seat next to him. Thank you, Elena, Kay said to the driver. Elena nodded and shut the door. Shortly afterward, the car pulled out and joined the slow stream of traffic. It was a much smoother ride than Kay's convertible. Where are you taking me? I'm going to show you one of the other clubs I own. They were going somewhere public. Sho barely had a thread of clothing on. Kay read his mind. Don't worry, it's closed. We'll have the place to ourselves. Sho sat back. Why would Kay be taking him to an empty club? He remembered something that Kay had said in his room all those nights ago, that not all of his clubs were as respectable as the lounge. Was Kay taking him to one of those? Sho looked out through the tinted windows, vainly trying to see where they were going. The privacy screen between the front and back seats blocked his view of the windshield. He sat back in defeat. So, Shoyo, have you been following my rule? Yes, Kay. Sho didn't know when he had started to answer to Kay like an obedient schoolgirl. But it seemed to please Kay. Really, you didn't slip up, not even once. No, Kay. Sho couldn't tell whether Kay was pleased or disappointed. But did you want to? God, yes. That must have been agonizing. Kay slid a hand underneath Sho's coat and up the inside of his thigh. The ache deep inside Sho grew. He closed his eyes. Did you think about me while I was gone? Kay brushed his fingertips all the way up between Sho's legs. The thin fabric was no barrier to Kay's probing fingers. Did you imagine all the things I'm going to do to you? Yes, Kay, every single day. It will be worth the wait. I promise. Sho bit back a moan. He didn't want to test whether the privacy barrier was soundproof. But Kay was doing everything he could to derail his efforts. Now I know that you're telling the truth about not touching yourself. Kay pressed his finger into the wet spot between Sho's legs. This is far too easy. Sho whimpered. If Kay wanted to, he could make Sho come in seconds. The car glided to a stop. We're here. Kei withdrew his hand and sat back. Sho flattened out his coat and slowed his breaths. He was beginning to realize that Kei torturing him like this was not going to be a one-time occurrence. Elena opened Sho's door. Sho thanked her and stepped out onto the sidewalk. At some point during their drive, they had crossed into a nicer part of town. Sho scanned the shop fronts before him. He wasn't sure what he was looking for. Shall we? Sho followed the path of Kei's eyes. Nestled between two boutiques was a small, black door. There was a sign above the door with a name written on it in red cursive script, Lilith's Den. It's closed on Mondays. But I have a key. Kei pulled a key out of his pocket and unlocked the door. They walked inside. This is it. Lilith's Den. Sho looked around in awe. The large space looked like any other nightclub, but in addition to the tables and bar stools, there were some unconventional furnishings scattered around the room. A 7-foot-tall wooden cross with small metal rings at each of the ends. A bench that resembled a horse with leather cuffs attached to it. A long, wide table with padding on the top and rings all along the sides which Sho assumed were tie points. What is this place? It's a place where people can let go of their inhibitions and explore all of their wildest, darkest dreams. Sho's eyes widened. So, it's some kind of sex club. More of a BDSM club. There's a different. Kei strode into the middle of the empty room. This is why I'm so private. This is a big part of my lifestyle. Well, not so much these days, but at one point it felt like it was my entire world. Kei looked off into the distance. For a moment, Sho caught a glimpse of what lay behind Kei's veil, but then the usual self-possessed expression returned. This is my secret. In addition to a few clubs like the Lounge, I own Lilith's and several similar establishments in other cities. All separate from my investment firm. I'm not ashamed of my interest in BDSM. But there are a lot of intolerant people out there, especially in my line of work. The gossip and rumors are a distraction. And quite frankly, what I do in my leisure time is no one's business but my own. Kei smiled. So, what do you think? It's nice. Sho liked it more than the Lounge, which he had always found a bit too glitzy. Really nice. Lilith's isn't your average BDSM club. Only the best of everything. Lilith's caters to the same sort of clientele as the Lounge. It's no surprise that the rich and powerful like to exercise their power in other ways. Sho surveyed the room. There was a set of heavy wooden double doors toward the back of the club. What's behind those doors? That leads to the private rooms upstairs. And that's where we're headed. But before we go up, Kei looked Sho up and down. I want to see how my gifts look on you in person. Sho untied his coat and slid it off his shoulders. His skin prickled under Kei's smoldering gaze. For a moment, Sho thought that Kei was going to tear off the little clothing that Sho still had on and take him then and there, but Kei restrained himself. He wasn't going to deviate from his plans. And it was clear that he did have plans. Sho fiddled with the cuffs at his wrists as Kei's eyes did one last lap over Sho's body. Follow me. Sho followed Kei toward the double doors. Half naked in this huge, empty space, Sho couldn't help but feel exposed. Kei pushed open the doors. They made their way up the stairs and were greeted with a long corridor with rows of doors on either side. Kei opened a door at random. Go ahead. Have a look inside. Sho peered into the room. The entire floor was essentially one giant bed with pillows thrown around haphazardly. It wasn't hard to figure out what that room was for. Sho opened another door. It looked like a normal bedroom, with a king-sized bed in the middle. But one of the side walls was made up entirely of mirrors. They're one-way mirrors. There's a viewing room next door. Some people like the taboo of being watched. Others like to watch. All parties have to consent, of course. Sho wandered down the corridor, opening door after door. There were rooms designed to fulfill every fantasy, from the common to the unusual. There was a classroom, a doctor's office, a jail cell. It was like some sort of kinky hotel. They reached the end of the hall. Sho stopped in front of a door. Unlike the others, it had a nameplate above it. The Scarlet Room. Sho reached out and turned the door handle. It was locked. I see you found the Scarlet Room. Kei walked up behind him. He had a key with a red tassel hanging from it in his hand. You'll get to see what's inside in a moment. Sho was practically bursting out of his skin. He wanted to see what was behind that door. But he wanted K even more. Before we go in, what's your safe word? Velvet. Good. Remember, using your safe word isn't a sign of weakness. When you need to use it, use it. Okay. The seriousness of K's expression told Sho that this command was more important than any of the others K had given him. One last thing. Do you trust me? Yes. The most important part of all of this is trust. You, trusting that I will keep you safe. And me trusting you to communicate honestly about your limits and what you're thinking and feeling. Do you promise to do that for me? Yes, K. Good. Trust me. Listen to everything I say. And know that I'll be right there by your side the entire time. Sho nodded. K unlocked the door, and they entered the Scarlet Room.